Yep.
Okay.
I'm not terrified at all.
Go.
Yeah, there's a bear. That's a
Excellent.
fucking bear.
So you dealt with the issues at hand in the previous adventure, and had been to the warehouse and dealt with those people. You felt that was something that needed to be done as soon as possible, so you went and did it. It is the early hours of the morning by the time you get back to the ship, and you have a relatively early rendezvous with Gustip in orbit, and he's given you the coordinates to encounter or to meet up with him in orbit. If that is still the plan, is there something else that you would rather do or like to do after you have rested as much as you can?
I'm going to have a lie down next to M8 here in the medical bay.
Ah, nice. And M8 is going to
Just busy
administer
himself over here instead.
the workbench.
Hey, buddy, you get a workbench. This one here.
The one that looks like a door. Yeah, that's the one. All right, now think warm thoughts. I'm going to try and administer some healing.
Yep. And given the level of injury, what sort of difficulty are we looking at?
Easy.
Easy.
Only down 3 points.
Drop the dice pool down to easy. And that is ready to roll when you are ready to roll.
Just seeing what skills I've got that I can chuck in on this one.
Yep.
A lot of my skills seem to be aimed around shooting people nowadays. Can I shoot him healthy?
The fixing people skill.
It's never a promising thing when the healer goes,
Got a lot of skills to scroll through. All right, here we go.
I think if you shoot well enough, you can cauterize the wounds.
Oh, I think that's what I might have done.
That doesn't go there. You might know that.
There's some stuff left over.
I think there's too much dust and dirt in his optical sensors, perhaps, and he just can't seem to land.
My eye.
You've taken them out, given them a good polishing. Is that what you've done?
I've got to go to a car wash or something. Just clean himself off. Have a good oil bath. But he is unable to succeed on that one. On an easy check.
But with that advantage, can eliminate some strain from the target.
I'm not stressed at all. That's the pain that I'm dealing with.
That's the wrong attitude to have when you're on M8's operating table.
Not stressed at all.
No, you should be very stressed.
No, very calm, very relaxed. I've got a bigger sword than you do.
I like it. All right. So what is then the plan of attack? What is it you would like to do? You've got multiple things in front of you. You've got, first of all, you have got the R4 unit from the warehouse that you gathered in the last adventure, and the data pad that you took also from the warehouse. You have information from the Regenx Cantina, in regards to Bandon Bar and his merry band. And there was some talk in the Discord of bounties. In addition to that, Gustip has impressed upon you that he would like you to undertake the Four Brother Shuffle. And that you have got a rendezvous here with him in the today of your characters waking up after resting after the last adventure. So what would you like to do, and how do you want to approach it?
I think we were looking at the Four Brother Shuffle, right?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
And
I'd
having
ask
that
one
data pad to bring
or if
her.
you,
Yeah.
Potentially getting the assistance of R4 as well with his prior smuggling experience.
Mm-hmm.
and knowledge of, does he have knowledge of these particular waypoints, and does he have knowledge of the Four Brother Shuffle?
He has knowledge of the Four Brother Shuffle. It's not a set route. Rather than being, a set, this location, this location, this location. It's a term used for a type of smuggling operation that is built around military micro jumps, which are typically used in system jumps by the military to support sneak attacks. So it's not like there are a set of locations that are well known to smugglers. The locations you were going to be given from Gustep, and obviously you have yet to rendezvous with him to get those. But R4 is familiar with this style of smuggling operation.
Has he done one before? Has R4 done one before?
He has participated in these type of operations before. I think I said in the last adventure that he's got some things that he needs to tie up in regards to his former master, and so he won't be able to go with you today. There are things that he needs to do in regards to that.
Can
But
we try and convince him to assist us first in exchange for us helping him tidy up the last few things he has to do?
well, what he is needing to do, he's not that willing to share with you. He tells by Darrow and his band of thugs, and it is to do with that. It's a private thing that R4 needs to deal with, and while he regrets it, he's not able to help you today. He is most certainly not willing to, but wanting to assist you when it comes to finding and dealing with Bandon Bar. For while Darrow was the instrument, Bandon Bar was the mastermind, if that makes sense.
So his friend, the other droid that we've got,
Mm-hmm.
he's still disassembled, or?
Very much so.
All right. So how about we make a deal? You help us, and we'll make sure we get this guy reassembled for you, and then we'll go help deal with Bandon Bar.
So are you attempting to coerce him into helping you with this Four Brother Shuffle?
We'd like him to assist, because I'm assuming his astrogation knowledge is probably better than our knowledge.
You also got your own astromech droid as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that too.
I'm going to assume that his
Would our
astrogation is better
astromech
than
droid
ours.
get jealous if we bring another astromech droid in? Is it the jealous type?
All astromech droids are a little quirky, so who can say?
Pretty
Certainly, you get the sense R4's got his own agenda. He, you heard that. I think it was in the Regenx cantina, or after when you'd met R4, that his former master had bequeathed freedom on both R4 and on the 3PO unit.
J9.
Yeah, it's J9. So it is, R4's got its own agenda. It's got things that it needs to do, and you gather from what it sort of says to you in the warehouse, both in the warehouse and if it accompanies you back to the ship for a brief time, that these things are time sensitive, that they need to be done before too long. So it's keen to go and get those done before coming back, and then it will be more than happy to help you in regards to Bandon Bar.
My only concern is if the R4 goes off on his own, we won't be able to protect him against any of Bandin Dobar's other thugs. I'm not saying that he can't handle himself, but obviously what happened to J9 was quite unfortunate, and we wouldn't want to find R4 in a trash compactor somewhere as well.
Yeah, and that's completely understood. But he's got something that he needs to go and do, and he's not 100% willing to sort of share with you what that is. So it doesn't seem to be. You could try a charm or a coerce or something like that to see if you can talk him around into sharing what it is.
Look, I'm not opposed to trying to charm him. That's not to say that I'm trying to get him away from what he's doing. It's more to try and build rapport with him.
Yep.
So I'll try a charm.
So what's the objective in this charm
The
test?
objective is to try and understand what it is that R4 needs to do without necessarily dissuading him from it, if that makes sense. Like, I get that he has a thing he wants to do and nothing will stop him. So from that perspective, I'm more about getting the information than necessarily changing his mind.
Gotcha. Yeah, you can definitely try and build that rapport. That's going to be a different difficulty of check than trying to convince him to come with you. So I'm just going to set that as an average.
Yep.
I'm going to put a setback die in there, however, because he is wary after his experiences and the information that that you're talking around, not necessarily trying to ask for directly, but talking around, is information that he obviously regards as sensitive. So there's a setback die in there for that.
This is where I remind you that I remove a setback dice when I use charm.
Did I say there was one setback dice or two? No, it's fine. I've got to remember that. That sounds good. That difficulty is set at just an average. The setback die has been removed from the pool.
Yeah.
And ready to roll. Excellent. So R4 shares with you basically that his former master bequeathed the freedom both to he and to J9, both to R4 and J9. That a part of that is essentially like a contract. That contract hasn't been lodged with the appropriate authorities and needs to be done. And more than that, there are a number of minor sort of stash locations that his former master maintained, where she kept private information about their previous smuggling operations, including astrogation charts and other things. His systems were a little scrambled after the application of the restraining bolt and whatever it was that Darrow and his crew were doing with the data pad.
Yeah.
And he needs to go and basically check that his astrogation data is up to date with those data dumps. And he needs to clear those data dumps so that they are not there to be found, and that the history of their smuggling operations is not something that then can be traced back to either him or his former master.
So he's effectively going to clear his master's internet history.
Yeah, he's going to wipe her browser history. That is correct. And it's time sensitive because there were people looking for her. He knows where those locations are. He feels or it feels safe or comfortable in going and doing the things it needs to do, despite everything that else that has happened.
R4, do you feel safe walking around and moving around in this situation now?
Well, it feels hesitant. Also, you get the sense in trusting people other than itself with that data right now. This is something that it needs to do.
There's two P1 droids on board this ship that we don't really need on board a ship right now. Would you like to take them with you?
I think they would attract attention. Those are illegal tech,
Okay.
heavily restricted. This is, while it is a fairly lawless place, it is also the home of
Imperial
Imperial
location.
Garrison.
Yep.
You would also probably, you make that suggestion, but that's also in the back of your mind as well, Heathen, in the sense that that tech is not
It is
supposed
illegal.
to be
Yep.
out and about, and that if Imperials saw those those droids moving around, that they may attract unwanted attention.
Okay. No worries then. Good luck.
Just give us some contact details for when we finish this job.
Yeah, how best to reach R4 when we're back.
Yep, he basically sets up or gives you the frequency or whatever you need to contact him on his comms, and then does the same with the ship as well, so that he can contact you guys as needed on board the ship.
Excellent. Do you have a blaster? Do you want one?
It doesn't think that it's going to need anything. That these are fairly secure and fairly well hidden. There's a number of these little sort of information backups that they had set up just in case. And R4 feels pretty confident that it should be done by the end of the day in wiping these. So it's not feeling like it needs to take anything with it other than what it's got right now.
Excellent. Have fun.
And yeah, it's quite happy to make its way off. Obviously, thanks you for offering to repair J9 as well. And you can, sort of gives that sort of soft, sad whistle as it looks at its at the state of its former compatriot.
Do you have a backup of this J9?
No, there is no backup of either J9 or R4.
We'll do the best we can. Would you like a backup done here?
Not until it knows whether its systems have been compromised.
Okay. Good luck.
Not a problem. And you've got that data pad. There's a good chance that somebody skilled with computers would be able to go through that data pad and work out what it is that Daro and his crew were doing.
I see where this is going. M8's ready to step up.
Sure,
Droid
Emma. Tried
who's got
and failed at that one,
computer
didn't it?
3. Maybe the droid can assist you.
I don't know why I need it.
It's an R2 droid. It's designed for it.
There is... now, did you guys end up building a workbench on the Ebon Avenger?
No. No, we didn't.
I know Brecco was talking about it.
Was that
You might have
something
spent money towards that. But we do have an R2 droid on board.
You do indeed. Now, what did we decide to do in regards to Brecco? Are we going to have Brecco accompany you as a sort of an NPC since Matt's unable to make it? Or there are plenty of things Brecco could be doing, including going and finding the speeder he's been talking so much about.
I think that would be best.
Yep, for him to go and do that.
As a player character thing, I think it'd be better if he was off the ship and doing his own thing.
Yep, not a problem.
No, that's
We'll
about right.
Yep, all happy with that. Because I know that Matt had also talked about putting a workbench on the Ebon Avenger and maybe an astromech droid brain.
Yeah.
Do you know if any of those modifications had been made to the Ebon Avenger?
No, not yet. None of them have been done. He's talked about some things, but he hasn't actually done anything to it.
Okay, cool. I was just checking the character sheet.
Yeah, there's nothing modified in the character sheet other than a couple little bits and pieces. But yeah, I've been updating the gear that's on board that ship.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, fantastic. Excellent. Alrighty. Yeah, no, there's nothing.
Just in the inventory, I've been stacking up stuff.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's good. All right. So we've got what we've got. Is there, what would you like to do, or where would you like to go?
I want to have a sleep.
Have a rest? Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, having a rest.
Yep. You all.
You meat bags.
Power down. You'll be right.
But I need to.
You all get your beauty sleep. That is up until the alarm clock goes far too early. In time for you to make any last adjustments that you need, have your meals and all those sorts of things, and then make your way to the rendezvous point with Gustav.
Do we get enough rest to recover a wound?
Yes, you can recover a wound.
Thank you. Then we go to our rendezvous.
Excellent.
En route, can we get Brecco? Oh, not Brecco. Get does M8 and our R2 droid want to try and have a look through this data pad?
I can give it a shot.
Well, the droid's got a skill of 3 in computers.
Yeah, I think the droid probably outskills me on that one, to be honest.
Yeah, and you got the
Well,
higher
you can do
intelligence.
skill assist if you're.
So I've got an intelligence of 3.
So you beat it on intelligence then.
Yeah.
So 3 and 3 would be 3 yellow dice.
How am I doing this? Am I just rolling the pool?
You can roll the dice pool. I'm going to put a setback die in there because you've tried this once before and you haven't succeeded, and the data is fairly well buried in the data pad.
M8's a Top Gun hacker, will be fine. So I just rolled my skill dice, right?
You can just roll the dice pool, the dice in the middle of the GM dice pool, and that should all be set.
Whoa. Boys! Did I mention that M8's elite hacker?
No, the droid's an elite hacker. You're just assisting the droid.
Hey.
Are you both droids?
Exactly. You know, droid power.
Stomp into each other.
That's
droid bots.
The Brotherhood.
That's it.
Excellent. All right. You managed to get into the data pad and you find that essentially what they were trying to do crudely, and it looks like some of the data is corrupted, although you cannot tell exactly what, that the data pad they've tried to use it to back up the R4 astrogation database, and that you can tell that data is corrupted, although you're not exactly sure how or where, so it's not reliable. However, there are also a few other programs, and you find in there were they trying to back up R4's database. They were also uploading coordinates, and those had been successfully uploaded. Those coordinates are to a loose sort of asteroid belt, and specifically to a large asteroid in that belt. In addition, in the data pad, you find a file called pass. And that, when you're looking at it, M8, seems to be the pattern for a shortwave radio signal designed to be broadcast by a ship's navigational computer.
Okay.
So we may possibly have Bandin Dobar's hideout plus a password to access it.
Potentially.
Excellent. Let's do our job.
Yeah, I think that still hasn't changed, right? We've
No,
still
no,
got to
we'll
do
do it.
the run, but
That sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Excellent. You make your way into orbit, where the Ebon Avenger meets up with another Corellian ship, another YT. This one, a YT 2400. It looks in good condition, very good condition, very well maintained. Almost, you would suppose brand new. You pass pleasantries over the comms and then dock. And after you dock and the hatches open and so forth, Gustip steps on board, flanked by a number of Trandoshans. He takes a look about the ship as he wanders on board, and you can sort of see just sort of drinking things in, really, looking around, and when he spots you and you or you approach him, he says, "Well met."
Hey, buddy.
Are you ready?
Well, we're waiting
Well,
to
we
hear.
need the cargo to get started, won't we?
Understood. Understand that you found yourselves a little busy last night.
news travels
your
quick, doesn't it?
Well, I believe that I told you previously. I have my fingers in many pies.
Quite the pieman you are. Don't even know what that means.
He chuckles gently to himself and looks around the ship and says, "A little run down, but serviceable, no doubt. Are you ready to receive the cargo?"
We are.
Born ready.
He nods and signals to one of the Trandoshans, who then speaks into the comlink. Shortly afterwards, a number of other mixed species humans, Trandoshan, Rhodian, bring in a collection of cargo containers, and you can see those stacked up on the ship map here. Those cargo containers, there are 10 crates down in this area that are stacked in this area sort of haphazardly in your cargo area. And he tells you that they are to be transferred to a ship called the Neck Princess. The 5 crates over there are to be transferred to the Empty Boot. And lastly, you have this. And as he's saying that and people are shuffling in, bringing in the cargo containers, you can see one of the Trandoshans brings on board a Duros prisoner. He's wearing a dark, dingy tunic, mid-calf boots, and a pair of scanner goggles hanging around his neck. And he is immobilized in a stun harness. They not too kindly drag him into that cargo area and sit him down in the seats over there. And Gustip says, "The captive here is Osso Maduk. He's made the unfortunate mistake of getting embroiled in some business operations of mine to my detriment. He is going to be transferred to the Moldy Minoc." Are there any questions?
Nope.
Where are we going?
Yeah, I assume he's going to give us a data pad with our.
He does indeed hand over a data pad. And he says, on here you will find all the coordinates you need for your micro jumps. Also, Maduk, transfer to the Moldy Minoc will take place first. That followed by the 10 crates here to the Neck Princess and the 5 crates to the Empty Boot. From the Empty Boot, you will receive a passenger, Verd Ramos. He is to be delivered back here to the Horizon Legacy in orbit.
Do you have any description of this person that we're collecting to make sure that we get the right one?
You will know him. He is prepped for transport. He is a guest of mine.
No description in case they hand us the wrong person?
He says he is an older man, about 60, polite. You will find him dressed formally, and I can guarantee there will be no mistake.
Okay, well, hopefully you'll bear that in mind in case they give us the wrong person.
Oh, it would not be in their interest to do so.
No, but it's not in our interest either, so I just want to make sure.
Absolutely.
Do you expect us to encounter any resistance on the way through?
There should not be any resistance. Every delivery is accounted for and booked. You should find each ship at its location as listed and in the time as described. How long you take to do the Four Brother Shuffle, of course, depends on yourselves. And I've heard that it can be done in relatively short order. There are crews here who have managed it in less than half an hour.
How long do we wait at one of these locations if the other ship doesn't appear?
As far as I understand, everything is positioned and ready as we speak.
I'll remind you of that in the future as well.
So times are wasting. Let's go.
Excellent. All right. He is happy to leave you with the cargo. The containers, he says, when you transfer, basically you can see in Datapad, and he described to you when you last met him that those deliveries made would be in exchange for there's a single crate, that's been delivered on your ship. In fact, I'll put that in a slightly different location just to confirm it. We'll put it down here. When delivery is made to those various locations, each transfer, you will get a sticker, essentially a security sticker that will be placed on this cargo pod right there by the crews of the ships that you meet. That way he will know that the appropriate deliveries have been made and that everything has been done in the way that he has basically laid out.
Yeah.
Excellent.
The times are wasting, as you said.
Excellent. All right. So the first jump is a little way away. So the first jump is to a nearby or relatively nearby system called Kubindi. That jump shouldn't take too long. From there, that first jump will drop you into a space where you are meant to meet up with the Moldy Minoc and deliver this captive Osso Maduk. After that, the micro jumps will take place within that system, and the last jump, bringing Verd Ramos, will take you from Kubindi back to Formos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Captain is co-pilot. Let's go.
Excellent. All right. So the first jump is just going to be an average astrogation test. It's a relatively well-travelled route and certainly should not present you any difficulties. However, from that point onwards, the micro jumps are going to both prove to be difficult and to place a certain amount of strain on the ship, depending on obviously how well you plot those courses. So the first jump is just an average difficulty, and that is ready to roll whenever you are.
Mazzotta, have you got skills around astrogation? Did you
do.
say?
So I've got basically two yellows and -2 blacks.
So do you want me to give you an assist?
Yes.
Assist on that because I've got intelligence 3.
Yeah, if that's the best way to do it.
So I'll assist you. So what are we rolling? 2 yellows and a green.
Is that what the test is going to be?
Well, I've got 3 intelligence and he's got 2 ranks in astrogation, right?
Yes, that's exactly what it'll be. Yep.
Yeah, and then -2 black dice.
Yep, not a problem. There's no setback dice on this particular roll. However, on the subsequent micro jumps, you are going to have a penalty just because they are particularly difficult. They are surgical in nature.
All right, everyone strapped in?
Yep.
All right. Punch it, Mazzotta.
Is anybody watching the prisoner?
Yeah, I'm standing right next to him. Hey,
Not
buddy.
a problem.
So just roll straight from the astrogation or from the dice.
You may roll the dice pool. I've set that the skill dice up for you in the dice pool. So for the first test, while you are doing the skilled assist, just roll that dice pool in the middle.
Jesus, look at that.
How did we go?
Not great.
Not great.
So it takes a little bit
Anthony's might
longer.
be better.
It takes a little bit longer than it might have otherwise. And the four-brother shuffle has kicked off. Remembering again that this is often a timed operation and that much reputation can be gained by covering the ground in quicker time than other smugglers. There's like a leaderboard kept in various establishments around Formos of crews that have completed their various four-brother shuffles. As Gustip indicated, there are crews that have made it in under 30 minutes. That's not the fastest time, but that's regarded as a good time. So our first jump, unfortunately, takes us a little bit longer than we might like. I'm going to keep a track of the rounds.
Can we use that advantage to say maybe we recover a little bit of time getting the prisoner off?
You could get the prisoner ready to load off, like right near the entrance, basically. If you wanted to do that, absolutely. That will be something Heathen could do. You could use the advantage there. If the ship has got any system strain, you could use it for that. Or you could use it to give yourself a boost die on the next skill check that you make.
Ooh.
Do we particularly care about doing this the fastest anyone's ever done it, or do we just want to get the job done without blowing up?
If we're going to do it, we do it right.
Yeah, it can open doors for us.
Right.
Certainly can. And Gustip, from everything that you have met with him, seems like a person who is connected.
Right. As fast as possible it is then.
He's done his research on you lot, and that is not easy research to undertake. So it might, whether you want to try and push the ship to absolute breaking point to get it done as fast as it's ever been done, that's enough.
skill called Full Throttle Improved.
Yep.
I think it's more for a combat situation, but
Hmm.
I'm not sure if it'd be relevant to
Yeah, it's
what
not
we're.
for used in hyperspace. It's used for flying around in combat
Yeah.
and evading
Um,
people, getting to
it, m-
people.
it might well come in handy because you'll find as this particular jump, not only is the jump taking you a little bit longer than normal, but you find yourself quite away from the actual rendezvous point. So you've got to burn hard to hit that rendezvous point. You've jumped within long range of the ship that you are meant to be encountering. And so that's going to take you a number of rounds to close that distance.
All right.
Um,
So I can suffer a strain to
The
increase
ship
the
suffer or
speed.
you suffer?
Sorry.
You
What?
suffer or ship suffers?
I think I suffer it.
yeah, you take a strain.
Yep. Yeah, I suffer the strain to increase the speed by 1 for number of rounds equal to my cunning, I think it is. So 3 rounds.
Not a problem.
Increasing the top speed by 1.
Yeah.
The number of rounds equal to cunning.
Is our astromech droid going to be helping as well on these rolls?
Can do. So you'll get a skilled assist from one other individual. So it's either
Right.
going to be M8 and
Got
Mazzoda,
it. Yeah.
or Mazzoda and the R2 unit. So you decide whether it's whoever's got the best pull, or if there's something that one of those two others can be doing that is equally useful, then that might be a consideration as well.
What's the astromech's intelligence?
2.
Yeah, so I'm better for this now with.
Yeah, but its astrogation skill is 3, but it doesn't negate black dice.
Yeah. No, I think that me and Mazzotta are best for this jump then.
Yep.
Ethan, can you move
both for that jump.
move the prison to the loading bay and get it ready to drop off as soon as we dock?
He's already at the door. I'm just waiting for the
Excellent.
helicopter.
You start to move him around, Heathen, and he turns around to you and he says, "Hey, you got to get me out of here, seriously. You don't know what these guys do with murder witnesses. I'm
Would
just
you
a
like a punch in
journalist.
the
I'm
face?
innocent."
Would you like a punch in the face?
So
I'm
got
serious.
loose. I stole an escape pod.
Slap him.
My news net is a bureau on Trellis. Come on.
Slap him harder. Shut up.
He's telling you essentially that he is a murder witness. That he says, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I saw one of Gustip's goons kill a political opponent.
Would you like me to kill you?
He bows his head, and you can see visibly shaking, and he says, "They're gonna torture me, man."
He doesn't say you have to be alive. Shut up.
Come now, Ethan. Don't kill
You're
our
bugging me.
Just
You
drag
said to
him.
deliver the person, not the living person.
Excellent. All right. I think you've told him in no uncertain terms how likely he is to convince you to let him go. Or rather, if you do let him go, it's not in a way that he's going to be happy with. So you tell him to shut up. You threaten his life, and you can see him bow his head, and it seems very uncomfortable, but doesn't say any more. The ahead of you, in the far distance, is a modified fire spray system patrol craft, and bears the markings as you give it a scan of the moldy Minoc. As you drop out of hyperspace and into long range away from the ship, you see, or rather, sorry, you are hailed via comms laser, and the hail runs, "This is the Moldy Minoc. Match our course. Lower your shields. Prepare for docking.
Mazzotta?
Yeah, something doing as the man
Prepare
says.
for docking.
Yep, it's going to be given your the speed that you're maintaining. It's going to be an average piloting check with a setback die to make up the distance and dock.
What's your agility there?
Ah,
He good. He's all good.
He's all good.
Yeah.
You could use that advantage to cut down the time. I was going to add 2 rounds to your travel time to get from the location where you dropped out of hyperspace to the Moldy Minoc. We can cut that down to 1 round.
yeah, I think we'll do that.
Adjustments have been made. It's been 6 rounds so far. You maneuver within close range, and the docking clamps connect your 2 ships. As the airlocks hiss and the door opens, a Solonian enters and takes in your crew. Heathen, as you do that, the Duros that you're holding also straightens in his restraints. The Solonian takes all of you in, nods, and then moves forward and presses a button on a remote control that they are holding in their hand.
Mhm.
The restraints around Osso Maduk, you can hear them click, 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 and Osso pulls the restraints off himself, grins at the Solonian, looks fairly pleased with himself, stretches, and then gives you, Heathen, a roguish wink and says, "Thanks for the ride, fellas. Oh, you passed your interview. Gustip can't have soft crews on his payroll. Good luck with the rest of the shuffle." He slaps or moves over to that crate that is in that open area of the ship and slaps a sticker across that, then gives you a salute before crossing over to the Moldy Minoc and sealing the hatch.
We've got our elephant stamp. Let's go, boys.
Go.
Excellent. Now we're going to program the now that all of that process would have taken over around about 2 rounds. So we're up to 8. Are you going to program the next jump, the micro jump?
Yeah.
We got an advantage from the last jump for this one?
Indeed. This might be something that you are able to do if you wanted to in preparation, or someone might be able to do it while others are moving cargo, etc.
Yep, so
Just
I think
FYI.
me and Mazzotta can be smashing away at the
Plugging coordinates in.
Yep.
Yep. You're going to want to plan that out, because if you're wanting to do it quickly, you also need hands to move those cargo containers.
Yeah, I'll be on that.
I'll be getting the B1 droids ready as well.
Excellent. All right. Let's move those. What do we got? We got 1 B1 droid.
I think we had 2,
We
didn't
should
we?
have had 2.
Managed to recover 2.
It was 2 plus parts from memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you had a bunch of parts left over as well. There we go. Excellent. All right. Now, the first micro jump is going to be a hard astrogation check with 2 setback die. You've got 1 boost die in there from your previous test. What else do I need to do to the dice pool? Do you have any talents that are relevant?
I do. I've got 2. I can remove 2 setbacks.
Beautiful. Perfect.
Should we use a light side point?
But we only have 2.
True.
We use it for the next one.
I'm glad
Here
you
we
put
go.
up with Destiny, Paul.
Oh shit. All right. Well, I'm providing the assist on the astrogation check.
Not a problem.
So let's roll the dice pool.
Good luck.
Uh,
Oh no!
that can't be right.
We
There's no
should
dice
have
on
skilled
those.
dice. Now, are you doing a skilled assist? So we've got a 2 and a 1, a 2 yellow and a green.
Yep.
All
Yep.
right. So you can roll that pool again. I've taken the setback die out of it. You've got the boost die. Otherwise, it's just a hard check. Yep. Let's go with that.
Bit of setback.
Ooh.
Excellent. All righty. So you make the jump. All of those extra successes, I'm going to suggest instead of the jump taking you 1-2 rounds, that given it's a micro jump with all of those extra successes, the jump is essentially instantaneous. So we were on round 8 previously. We're on round 8 now. Round 9, we were calculating the hyperspace jump. So it's round 9 when you arrive. The jump is instantaneous. However, there is some threat there. I'm going to place 2 strain on the ship, and I am going to set the distance that you arrive from your rendezvous point with the Neck Princess at long range.
R2B7, give me a assist on this, getting this strain off the ship.
And do we want to full throttle it into rendezvous?
If you want to
It's
do
your-
that, I can
It's
hustle
your
it.
strain.
Yeah, I can
It's
hustle
going
it
to
to
take
the.
you 2 rounds to get from where you are to your rendezvous.
I'm gonna hustle over to the cargo bay, ready to start moving the next round of crates.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've already started moving crates.
Okay, so I believe that those crate icons on the ship, you should be able to move them.
We're not on the ship screen.
Oh, you're not. My apologies.
We're shifting the 10. We're shifting the 10 crates in this area.
Yep.
Where's the loading
So
bay?
those
Is the
10
loading
crates
bay
go to
there
Princess.
or down here?
With the docking between the ships, it will happen either there or here.
Okay.
Crap, which side?
We'll go this
That
side
will
where he's
depend entirely on. That will depend entirely on.
Tell me which side you're loading.
We're going on the on the port side.
That side.
Are you taking while they are moving crates? So we're not going to move all of them just yet, because these things take time.
We'll move 8 of the 10.
You were in round 9 when Mazzosa and co were calculating the hyperspace jump. It's going to take you 2 maneuvers to get a crate from the docking bay into that area, a maneuver to get a crate from the from your hangar into the area down there, ready to unload, and a maneuver to get yourself back again. So your 2 maneuvers, and the essentially you'll be able to carry 1 at a time, unless you've got a brawn of 3 or higher, in which case you could carry 2.
I'll carry 2.
Yeah, so the 2B1 droids would have carried 1 each. I would have carried 1, and Heathen would have carried 2. So we've shifted 5 crates in that 1 round.
Yep, excellent.
And I would have used a maneuver to get over here and then a maneuver to get another one over.
Alrighty, so M8, you're going to be over there.
Yep.
Heathen and Jala and the droids will be back over here, ready to move those other crates.
Well, it takes us 2 rounds to move all the crates. So I don't know if M8 needs to help.
It's more for the offload.
Ah, right. Okay, yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
And is there a point me trying this full throttle maneuver? If
it's going to take you 2 rounds to get within docking distance of the Neck Princess.
Go for it, Mazzotta. Do it.
All right. I
It's going to cost you a strain, Mazzotta.
Yep,
Now, did someone do me the favour of recording the system strain on the ship?
I was doing that in the process of changing around things, yes, but I will.
The ship's taking 2 strain, isn't that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where's how do we know how much it's got?
So you can
15 total.
open the Ebon Avenger character sheet. You should be able to open that.
It's currently 14 from 16. Oh, 13 from 15.
Can you open that sheet?
Yeah, I can. I've done it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got all players listed in there. So you should be able to open that. When you go to the character sheet section and the vehicle sheet, it will have there listed the hull trauma and the system strain.
Yeah.
And let's actually, some of that hull trauma will have been improved by Brecco over that time. So we've got that there. Now your handling's -1 as well. So we'll put that in also as a setback. And it is ready to roll that dice pool for your piloting and docking, Mazzotta, whenever you are ready to roll your piloting.
Did we want to try the full throttle first?
Go for it.
Well, we
So
still
that's
need a second round to get all the rest of these crates back over, though.
So
Yeah,
there's
we've
No,
got.
there's no point doing it.
It takes us 2 rounds to get to this ship anyway, so you might as well.
Just
Push it.
cruise at the same
Punch
speed.
it.
All right, push it.
Punch it.
So what are you doing?
Succeeding.
Massively.
Whoa!
All right. You managed to punch it. Absolutely, firing on all cylinders. You managed to get the ship up to its maximum speed in short order. And then you
One
can,
more.
as you are approaching the Neck Princess, you get a comms laser come in. This is the Neck Princess. You're coming in too fast. You're coming in too fast. You apply the thrusters. You can hear the panic scrambling on the Neck Princess, and the engines on the other ship start to fire up as it looks like it's going to attempt some sort of evasive maneuver from your speedy approach.
Take it easy. It's all under control.
You start to pull the ship up. You can see you pull the ship up in short order and spin it around, ready for docking. And you can hear the comms unit has been left on board the Neck Princess, and you can hear the pilot mutter to their co-pilot, "Crazy bastard," as you pull in and dock in short order. You cut that down to 1 round, and in that time, the crates, you've got that round to move those crates around. So you can move further 4 crates over into that area. It's going to take a maneuver to open the door. Someone?
I'll hit it.
Excellent. Let's go through our. Let's clear the turn order chart, and everybody. It's not going to matter what the order is specifically, but if I could get everybody to roll for initiative, and then we'll just run through in order. That way, everybody knows, what we're doing.
It's just a cool roll, is it?
Yep.
The combat page initiative.
Cool or vigilance.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Ooh.
Alrighty. So you've managed to dock. It's going to take a maneuver to open the door. Who's taking that first turn now that we're on turn 11?
And
Hit
Nate
that
was already
door.
at the door, wasn't he? So
Yeah.
And
I'm at the door,
make
so
that.
I'll hit the door.
You'll hit the door. The door hisses open, and you can see waiting on the other side. There are some Duros and M8. What are you going to do with either your action or are you going to use it for a second maneuver? You can take strain to take a second maneuver and an action. What would you like to do?
I'm going to pick up a crate.
Yep.
And
maneuver that into the neck princess.
Yep.
You do that. Who is next in turn order?
I'll
Yeah.
take the next one.
Yep, so we've got 1 crate aboard.
I'll take 2
Yep.
over.
So we've
And
got
then I'll
3
move back.
crates transferred. Should be 3 crates transferred altogether.
Yep.
You'll take those 2 crates over, Heathen.
Yep.
That's your turn. Who is
I'll
taking?
take that's my maneuver.
Yep.
I'll take an action to move back.
Yes.
I'll take a strain and use another maneuver to take another
Yep.
2.
Not a problem.
I'll carry 1 over, take a strain to take a second maneuver, and an action to carry a second one. And the 2 B1 droids will take 1 each.
Indeed, they will. They've got theirs in order.
So it leaves us 1 crate.
There's a crate here
Ugh.
too.
That's our crate with the seals. Don't move that one.
Okay.
I'll take the next one. It's all good.
All right, we're on turn
I'd
12.
try and run down there, but
No, you stay there.
We're
I'll
on
take the
turn
next one.
12, Heathen. You're going to drop that crate off.
And you roll elephant stamp, boys.
The loadmaster, in between the hustle and bustle of you moving all of those on, counts off the crates and says, excellent. That's 10 crates, 3,000 doses, Averbush spice delivered. Moves onto the ship and applies a sticker for a spelunking expedition of all things onto the crate alongside the one that had previously been placed by Osso, and then says, pleasure doing business with you, boys.
Pleasure.
let's go.
Get off the ship. We're gonna go.
Prince S. That's another turn gone. We're on turn 13. In the meantime, Mazzoda, that was 2 rounds of action. What would you like to have done in those 2 rounds?
I would have been plotting the next course with.
Not a problem. We've got then a hard test.
Could I have Could I have used a strain for my last action to get back over to the cockpit?
Yeah, you could have done that.
Are you okay with me retconning that a little bit?
Yeah.
All right. Let me just take 1 strain to hustle over here.
Excellent. All right. Now it's a hard test with 2 setback die as described. Now you remove those 2 setback die. Is that correct, Mazzoda?
That's correct.
So we've just got that hard difficulty in there. Am I setting up your dice pool with the 2 and the 1?
Yep.
You can if you like. Yep.
Are we going to Destiny this one?
I'm going to use a dark side point
No.
to upgrade every check.
We have to do it now, surely.
Oh, bloody hell! Yeah, we are.
Ah!
Oops. I didn't want to use 2.
I'll give you 1 back. Excellent. So I've got an upgrade in your test, and I have an upgrade in the difficulty pool, and that is ready to go. Your next test is your next astrogation, your next micro jump is going to land you in system, and you are to rendezvous with the empty boot.
Let's go, guys. Watch it. Oh, shit.
No!
What have we got?
Nothing good.
Nothing good.
All right. You take an extra round. So we're on round 14 now. And whatever calculations you've put in, the ship's taken a system strain. If someone could add that to the ship, and basically you've had to give the system a quick reboot, and you can take that test again. I am removing the difficulty upgrade and the upgrade from the use of a light side point. and you are welcome to take that test again whenever you are ready to do so.
Do you want to do
We're on
another
round
light side? Well, never mind. Look at it. It was just ready to go.
Excellent. All right. This time the jump is almost instantaneous. So you plotted that course in round 15. You arrive in round 15. This time you are at medium distance, and the ship is going to have taken 3 system strain.
How are we looking there, Ethan?
9 out of 15.
Later.
Ah, we're fine.
Ah.
Brecco will sort that out.
We've only got 1 jump to go. We'll be fine.
What could possibly go wrong?
Really? Seriously?
I don't think
So we're a fair way away, are we?
medium.
Medium range. The minute you drop out of hyperspace, you can see a large bulk freighter in the distance, and the comms light up, and the pilot says Ebon Avenger, well sighted. Make your way within engaged range. The tractor beam will handle the docking.
Roger
many-
that. Coming in.
How many rounds to get to engage range?
It's going to take you a round to get within engaged range. You don't need to take a piloting test to do that. It will just take your maneuvers to get within that range. However, the tractor beam is going to take 4 rounds to draw your ship in. So we go from 15 to 19.
Could we have punched it in much closer so the tractor beam doesn't have to work as much?
You can do that, or it's going to take you a piloting test to do that.
What do you reckon, Mazzola?
And it will be you might want to forewarn the empty boot that you were doing it.
We're going to be coming in a bit hot. So we'll go the full throttle improved again.
Not a problem. I'm just going to clear
Average test
the
improved.
skill dice. We've got an average test here and a setback die. Do you remove that setback die, Mazzota, for your piloting, or is it just?
I've got my setback dies and all set up in my thing if you like.
So it's
I
yep.
removed 2, so
Okay,
got that
yep.
set up there.
All right, so I'm just plugged 1 in to the pool, and the pool should handle that. Ready to roll whenever you are.
Yes.
Meanwhile, we'll get all the crates into position.
Oh, and I take a strain.
Absolutely, and you'll have plenty of time to do that. You've taken a strain to do that, Mazzota. The ship drops within a much closer range than the shipping master on the empty boot is happy with. You can hear them say, you can hear them over the comms saying, "Easy there, cowboys. You might be in a rush. I don't want the empty boot damaged. You understand?"
It won't be damaged. Coming in.
The tractor beam takes control. We'll go from round 15. We'll drop 2 rounds off that to 17. We're on round 17 now. In those intervening 2 rounds, Jala and Heathen, you could have got those crates down into that docking area if you'd like. This time you are going to be inside the bulk freighter, and you will be using the cargo lift down in this area of the ship here. So you'll have moved the crates down to the cargo lift, ready for that. There are only 5 crates for this one. And as the ship is touched down inside the very large hangar inside this bulk freighter, and the green light is given, you drop down on that cargo lift ready to unload. And again, we're now in round 18.
I can't move either of those B1 droids, but they'd be helping, obviously.
Yep. They're down with you. we've got obviously pop that there. That's a good idea. Excellent. So you drop the lift takes around to drop down to the deck inside the empty boot. We're on round 19. And you've got your actions, maneuvers, etc. to undertake. Who's taking that first round of action?
I'll take the first one.
Yep.
One.
We're going to unload 2 crates onto the empty boot, and then back onto the load the cargo
deck.
lift
Yep.
there. Jala, are you going to take the second?
Yeah. And then I'll take a strain to take another action to get that crate ready for someone to mark it off as the B1 droids are carrying the last 2.
Nice, excellent. So you take the third of those crates, and then the B1 droids are going to obviously take the last 2 across to the empty boot.
Not
Not that one.
You
Need that
want
one.
back there. As you do so, the Drall load master for the empty boot marks off 5 crates. You can see him marking off. There's 5 enviro-sealed pods of glitterstem spice, and then makes his way onto the docking ramp, and then raises an eyebrow at you and says, "Is this part of the Four Brothers Shuffle? Is it?"
No.
Yeah. Where's our cargo that you're supposed to be handing over to us?
He sticks a sticker on the crate for the Drall library, and another crewman appears. It's an older man wearing a dark green tunic and dark pants, of about 60 years in age. He approaches you, Jala, and sort of bows his head politely and says, "Well met. My name is Verd Ramos. I understand that I'm to make my way back with you to Formos."
Yes, please get on board.
He makes his way onto the cargo ramp. We're in round 20. The cargo ramp ascends to the ship, and you are all inside. While those 2 rounds are being undertaken, Mazota, what are you doing?
Triple studying the star charts, trying to get a path to our next destination.
Planning that next jump.
Planning the next jump. Easy done. Excellent. All right. So you are going to pre-plan or pre-plot that jump in there. That is, again, 2 setback die. It's a hard test. I'm going to make that upgrade that test because you're plotting it currently inside a cargo ship, and your actual launch point you need to calculate outside the ship. Obviously, you're not going to jump into hyperspace right here.
Yep.
That being said, my uncle was a cargo ship, so
Are you using a light side point?
yes.
I have upgraded the skill pool. Cargo's unloaded. It's round 21, Mazota. As the cargo lift, you get the green light in the cockpit there that the cargo lift has sealed. You pilot the ship out of the empty boot and into space, and to the set of coordinates that you pre-programmed in. And the reason, as I said before, that this difficulty check is upgraded is because you had pre-programmed not only your destination but your launching point, making this piloting test and subsequent jump just a little bit more
Interesting.
dicey than perhaps it would be otherwise. So that pool is set. There's an upgrade for you. There's an upgrade in the difficulty pool. It's a hard difficulty with 2 setback dice, which I trust the pool is going to remove on your behalf.
So I'm using astrogation check or dice pool.
This is going to be an astrogation check. Now, are you using the die? You're getting a skilled assist on this.
Correct.
So I've got a dice pool set for you for 2 and 1, and that dice pool is set to be rolled. In fact, I'll manually remove the 2 setback die because it won't happen because you're rolling the dice pool, not your skill.
I'm rolling dice pool.
Yeah, so roll the dice pool, and that is ready to roll.
Oh!
Beautiful. Excellent. You launch into space. The stars and familiar patterns of wisps of galactic dust shift into the blurred lines of hyperspace. And the jump that you're undertaken is almost as those lines, the lines of the hyperspace blur around the cockpit. Almost immediately, the hyperspace alarms on board the ship sound, and the ship drops back out of space. Looming in the view screen is a large icy asteroid, and you are bearing on it at speed. It is going to take you a hard piloting test with 2 setback in there, given your given the fact you've just dropped out of hyperspace directly in its space. I'm going to use a dark side point here to upgrade the difficulty check.
I'm going to jump on the comms and just say, attention passengers, this is M8 in the cockpit. We appear to have encountered an asteroid. Please strap yourselves in, as this may get bumpy.
Then I'm yelling, brace, brace, brace.
Has anyone got knowledge Underworld?
Yep.
I'll get you to roll it in a minute. But we've got a piloting test to make first up.
Do you want to use a light side point?
You may indeed.
Mazzotta? Or do you not need it?
No, I don't think I know. Famous last words. I don't think I'll need it, but
All right, so use it. Is that what I'm hearing?
yeah.
Your call, man.
You want me to flip it?
It's up to you. How confident are you?
Yeah.
Not confident. Got it.
I like that level of confidence. All right, the upgrade is placed in there, and you are free to roll your piloting. If anybody's in the cockpit,
I am.
remind them that they can provide an assist as co-pilot.
He's way too skilled for me.
Excellent. All right. You managed to pull the ship up. First of all, obviously, slamming on the space brakes pretty severely. Without the warning that M8 you just gave out, other people around the ship may have suffered some potential injuries. But we've got Mazzotta has managed to pull the ship up hard and spin the ship, rotating around the asteroid as you managed barely to avoid a collision with its icy surface. I said before, if you've got an underworld law check, Jala, that you might roll it, so feel free to do that.
Oh, well.
It nets you no benefit. Excellent. All right. As you manage to maneuver around the asteroid, can I get, please, and who else? Who's in the cockpit? Can I ask?
Me and the astromech.
you and the astromech, and Mazzoda, obviously.
Mhm.
Any one of you could roll a perception check.
Yeah, Mazzoda.
Mm,
Definitely not my strong suit, but I can make a roll if you like. Or do
No,
we all
Mazzoda.
roll?
Well, it's up to you. One person
Well,
can roll
I've
for
rolled.
Don't
you.
need to worry about it. Mazzoda's on it.
You passed it.
I was too busy working the radio. Putting on
Excellent.
some soothing tunes to keep everyone.
There are a pair of cloak-shaped fighters move out of the shadow of the asteroid. These are Fire Spray 31 patrol craft. And as they fire up their engines and move around the ship, a warning shot is fired across the bows of the Ebon Avenger. A voice hails you over the comms. This is Captain Justero of the Celestro Privateers. Heave about, prepare to surrender your cargo, or fight back, prepare to die. Your choice.
I jump into a gun turret.
I
And
might as
fire.
well jump in a gun turret.
I'm pretty darn nifty on a gun turret too, boys.
Yes, you are.
Mazzoda, you right here on your own?
Yep, got it.
All right, I'm hooking it to a gun turret.
How many gun turrets have we got? Sorry?
Two.
Idea.
There's two gun
Well,
turrets.
I'll leave a gun turret to you. I'll join Mazzoda in the cockpit then.
You could provide an assist with any piloting checks if you wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Let me just pull some things up here.
You could taunt them over the airwaves.
Yeah. Depending on how we're doing to strain, I might regale you of some piece of rhetoric about how we should be feeling better about ourselves.
I think Mazzoda's taken a couple of strain points.
I have.
Oh. What have I done here?
Let me. Is this? Let me just check if this works the way I think it will. Hey, there we go. Excellent. You managed to pull around the asteroid there. And you can see as you maneuver around that asteroid, we've got two ski prey approaching you.
Really got to cut into our time, bastards.
Did that? What was the organization he named?
The Celestro Privateers, he called himself.
Does that name ring a bell?
You could roll a hard underworld check. They're not well known outside this sort of or nearby systems, but you could definitely make a hard test to see if you can remember or recall anything about them.
Yeah. All right, I'll give it a go. Boo.
Excuse me. All right. You don't manage. Oh, excuse me. You don't manage to recall any specific information about this particular privateer group. What you do know is that this trick is not completely uncommon. Dragging an asteroid into a hyperspace line, forcing ships to drop out of hyperspace, and then attacking them is not a completely unknown strategy for pirates to use. It can be an extremely dangerous one, but it's not unusual. So a warning shot's been fired across your bows. They currently have the advantage. They are both going to swing around and fire on your ship. What have we got? If I Okie doke. So we've got oops, their difficulty set, and they are going to get a boost die because you have done exactly what they planned, and that is to engage in evasive maneuvers as you have come around the asteroid. They've fired a warning shot and given you opportunity of reply. The first shot is going. The first shot is going to take the ship and inflict 5 damage.
I'll be
So we
yelling
take-
out to someone, "Bloody angle those deflector shields."
So we've got armor of 3, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I've done the damage. We had a defense of 1 from the front.
Yep.
They
Alright.
won't go from the front though.
I'll
Oh no,
add
we've
in-
only got 2 because we're our size, so we've got a defense of 1.
Yep. Their size, their silhouette is 4. Just FYI. The second Bloodblade modified fire spray system patrol craft is managing here to inflict 6 damage and a system strain.
13.
Oof.
Ouch.
And they maneuver themselves around in an attack approach on your ship. Now, my apologies. All of that damage is not to the hull. They are they are using ion blasters to disable the ship. All of that damage is to the system strain. So we had 5 before and
Ooh.
6 in the
So we're down
second,
to 3
minus,
strain.
minus armor.
Yep.
And
we
any
have
your deflector shields that have been set up, which I'll include, obviously, as setback die in subsequent rolls. What would you like to do, and in what order would you like to do it? We've got our turn order there. Who's doing what, and
What is their
in
range?
order. They are within close range. They were expecting you. They have come around the asteroid. They're within close range of your ship, having fired their first warning shot and then moved closer. And as I said, getting into attack and into an attack formation as they approach.
I scream out, take the one on the port side. Try and take him down, and we'll shoot him.
All right, so you're taking the first initiative slot. Heathen, the difficulty at this range is easy, as I remember.
Yep.
However, I'm going to put in a setback die, simply because the Ebon Avenger is currently coming out of the evasive maneuvers to have avoided that asteroid. And I'm going to throw in an upgrade there because I can.
I think we could be dead in the water, boys.
Not yet.
We've only got 3 system strain to go.
What happens then? We just take damage, right?
We're dead in the water.
Are we?
Floaty.
Yeah. So here's my shot. And it's a miss.
Of all the times, unfortunately, the blasts from your cannon go wide, and you can see the ship you're targeting go into a sort of a barrel roll and manage to avoid your fire. As it does so, however, you note it likely will have taken some system strain to have done that.
Well, I guess
Take him down, mate.
I'm gonna
Take
have a
him
shot
down.
at him as well. Same one.
Yep.
Fuck it. Using the light side.
Yep.
Not a problem. I've added an upgrade into the test. It's set at easy and with a setback die. You've used your light side point, and that is free to roll whenever you are.
2 hits.
Excellent. What damage does the ship do?
6 plus 1.
6, 7 damage.
Is this a spot I could use that Dead to Rights? Spend an additional Destiny point to add additional damage equal to half agility.
Oh.
Yep, absolutely.
Do we want to spend another
Yes.
light side?
So how much damage was it? Sorry, 6 altogether?
7.
7 altogether. 7 altogether minus their armor.
Hang on. Josh is also going to use a light side point to get that agility bonus.
To half agility, so that'd be rounded up, so that'd be 3.
So
And an additional
3.
3.
So 10 all
3
told.
damage.
Did you spend a light side point to do that?
Yes.
Flip it.
Excellent. All right.
Get there.
You've spent a light side point. M8, you have taken your shots. Heathen, you've taken your shots. You've used Dead to Rights. Is that a maneuver? Is it a action?
Dead to Rights is a...
Incidental, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Could we repair ship
Yeah, it's
strain at all?
incidental.
Yes.
We'd like the droid to be preparing the ship.
You could certainly set them to that task.
At least to put out the fires.
There are currently alarms going off throughout the ship, and venting steam and gas and smoke and so forth throughout the ship as sparks fly from the cockpit consoles as the ship has undertaken a lot of strain.
It has. It's suffering. So can we get the droid to take a mechanics check?
Yeah, absolutely. So we want the R2 unit to be doing that.
Yeah, because it's nice on board the cam.
Yep. Excellent. Have you got the R2 unit set up as a
Yeah, it's set up and ready.
character?
Yeah, it's already there.
Now, repairing a system's trying to think, given the amount of strain that you've taken, is going to be a hard check.
Yeah, it is.
So that has been set, and you are free to roll it whenever you are ready to do so.
It covers one strain.
Yep.
Yay!
Better than a kick in the teeth. You recover a strain. Excellent. Mazzoda, what would you like to be doing? You've used Dead to Rights, but you've got your action and maneuver or maneuvers to take as you want to.
Could you
Get
get
us
us
out of
into,
here, buddy.
could you get us into
I'll
a
be
position to
getting
jump?
the hell out of here. So I guess I'll take another strain, I guess, and punch it to what's it called? Full throttle.
Yep.
As far away from these buggers as possible.
What's your what is your speed?
Our speed's 3 becomes 4 when he uses punch it.
Excellent. All right.
Or when he uses the full throttle.
Yep. Just as a reminder, there's also evasive maneuvers which you can take as a maneuver. and will upgrade. I think it upgrades the difficulty check. Upgrades the difficulty dice pool for all attacks made against the ship until the end of your next turn. So you could use
Yeah, I guess I would be doing evasive maneuvers.
That's a
As they're
maneuver as well.
firing at us, I'll be trying to evade.
So they're both maneuvers. Evasive maneuvers and punch it are
Punch it.
both maneuvers.
Yep. Excellent. So you can take a strain to do both of those things and still take an action, or you can use both of those as your action and maneuver.
So I guess be doing the evasive maneuver, then full throttle.
Oh, yep.
So you can do damage control as a pilot.
Damage control.
No, that's mechanics, sorry. You need to do gain the advantage, sorry. Gain the advantage is what you want to do next. This is a piloting check. That's your action.
I'm yelling out, help me out, guys, I don't know what I'm doing up here.
You can do that as a piloting check. It's just going to be an average check.
So it's ready to go.
Actually, right now, that's going to be an easy check because you're moving faster than they are. It is ready to roll whenever you are. Excellent. Okie doke. So that will, let's have a look here. That will gain you.
Reveal opponent's piloting style.
So it doesn't negate their evasive maneuvers if they take them.
Yes. Excellent. All right. So you've punched it. You're heading away from these ships. These ships are accelerating in pursuit of you. Who is yet to act? We've had Mate, we've had Mazoda, Heathen, Jala. What would you like to be doing?
I'd like to talk to these guys over the comm. I'm saying that Bandin Dobar is expecting us back on Formos, and if we are to be delayed, he knows which factions are attacking these particular routes, and he will come for them.
Oh, he knows the Celestro privateers is what you're intimating, is it?
Yes.
Is this just
Right.
a fancy way of saying, do you know who I am?
Excellent. All right. So, are we? I think that is essentially an attempt to coerce them.
I was more deception than anything.
Oh, yep. Let's go with deception then. It's going to be opposed. Let me just pop in here. Hang on. Oh, you're using a light side point.
That's
I think we're
Nice.
going to get blown out of the sky otherwise. I'm hoping this will at least give them enough pause for us to hit the hyperspace again.
All right, I have set the difficulty. It's hard, and I upgraded that difficulty because the pirate leader, Captain Jostero, is cocky and confident in his own power. So I've put that upgrade in there. And upgraded your skill check also, obviously. So that is ready to roll whenever you are.
Oh, no.
Not having a good day, are you, Tyler?
You can upgrade that dice.
No, it would have been a nil or draw, wouldn't it?
Neutral.
Excellent. He is.
Hang on a second. Did the light side upgrade happen as well?
Yeah. I only have one yellow on deception.
Okay. Yeah, damn it.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. The pirate captain Jostero is unconvinced by your pleas to abandon the chase, and the name Bandon Bar seems to elicit no response. You are going to come under fire from both of these fire spray system patrol craft. They are going to be at an average difficulty. Now, your evasive maneuvers are going to upgrade their the difficulty by 1, if I'm understanding it correctly.
Yep.
They are in your rear arc, and your rear shields currently are set at what?
1. Well, we have the angle deflected shield. That's a maneuver thing that somebody needs to do.
Ah.
So Jala could have been doing that.
Oh, I didn't realize. Sorry.
Yeah, as a maneuver, you could do that, Jala, if you wanted to.
What? Just to increase our rear deflect shields because they're basically both behind us.
Yeah, so you could have
reduce the fore and increase the aft, basically.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. So I'll put their 2 setback die in for the shields, and that pool is ready for me to roll. They no longer get their boost die, and they are attempting to match speed. The first attack blasts fly wide. They do not manage to land a blow, and the second is going to cause 3 system strain on the ship.
Oh,
we have 3 armor, so we're fine.
Also, going to cause system strain on their own ship as well.
Continue to fire on the same target.
Excellent. So we're back to the start of the turn order. And you are going to fire, Heathen. Roll them bones. Now you've got to gain the advantage. As maneuvers, they are attempting their evasive maneuvers. That is neutralized. So that is to nil effect. You may roll. Oh, hang on. Let me reset the dice pool.
Thank you. Reset the dice pool.
An average check.
If you get the roll, just take away the black ones and the red one.
That's the first time I've seen a despair.
Do you get any bonuses or
No.
advantages in this? Any upgrades?
No, I'm not a gunnery person. I'm a hand-to-hand and shooty person.
Yep. All right. I've got a setback die in there for their shields, and an average difficulty given the range, and that is ready to roll when you are.
Nice.
So that'll be 9 damage to the same target.
9 damage. Now, what damage did you do last time? It was
10 and 1 strain.
All right. And you are also set up and ready to roll. Whoever else is taking a gunnery check?
That would be me. I have a question. Can I use my true aim ability on a gunnery check?
What's it? What?
This is what it says. Once per round, you may perform a true aim maneuver to gain the benefits of aiming and upgrade combat check by 1 rank. Gain blue on the next combat check. If a character spends 2 consecutive maneuvers aiming, he gains blue on the next combat check.
Yeah, you do.
This is a combat check, so I don't see why not. I don't know if there is an official ruling, but the rule of cool to me suggests absolutely.
All right. Well, I've got 2 ranks in that, so I'll have two blue combat dice.
So I'm adding 2 blue dice to the pool.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yep. 2 blue dice, and I'm going to shoot at the same one again. Is it looking like it's in trouble? Is it?
Can you see the? You can't. Oh, I haven't set it up. Is that better?
Yeah, now we can see it.
Yeah. All right.
I see that one anyway.
All right. I'm gonna shoot at it. Here we go. We ready?
Yep, take him out.
Pew pew.
That is Kapil.
That is a crit.
Nice. Excellent. All right. So, damage-wise, that's 5 damage. Is that correct? Or 6 damage?
7.
7.
6 plus 1 is 7.
7?
And
And you can just convert all that to strain if you like and just call it all damage. Jamo?
is that better than doing a crit on it?
Crit might randomly get us something better, I suppose.
And damage might just take him out.
Looks like he's probably got more than 5 left.
Your call, Jamo.
So crit costs 3, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I can crit and do 2 extra damage to it. So I might as well do that. I got lethal blow, which adds plus 10 per rank when rolling on a crit table, and I've got that twice. So add plus 20 to that.
So, just let me clarify here. You're causing a crit and 2 strain?
Yes. Yep.
I think so.
Yep.
All right. So, I'm putting in the 2 strain there. And as for the crit, you're going to get a plus 20. Am I correct?
Correct. Yep.
So, you can roll that D100 whenever you're ready to do so.
Come on, baby. Ah!
So, 48 is going to be a component hit.
Can the component be the engine?
No, the cockpit.
The pilot?
Where is
Gosh, I should have taken the extra damage.
table?
It would have just been strain, wouldn't it?
Yeah, strain is damage. They don't have strain when they're.
Right.
They have to be a nemesis classification as opposed to rival.
Right, gotcha.
These guys, I think, are rivals.
They are indeed rivals. Okie doke. It's unhelpful when it says check table 7 blah blah and doesn't give me a page reference.
I'm pretty sure table 7 says we blow them up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it says.
Yeah.
All right, now it's your choice. That is knocked offline. We've got support droid, ejection system, weapon systems, sensors, comms, sublight engines, hyperdrive, or shields.
You want to take the weapons out? You reckon sublight engines?
Oh, hell yeah.
As opposed to weapons, so they can't shoot at us?
A sublight means he's left behind.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but weapons, what's he going to do if he can't shoot us?
I'll tell you what it does. The engines are slightly damaged and the ship's speed will be reduced by 1 if you damage the engines. Or weapon systems. 1 weapon system of your choice is knocked offline.
How many weapon systems does it have?
So far, it has fired at you with its ion cannon.
So the ion cannon's a big problem because it's going to disable us, whereas we've still got hull. So if we pick up the iron, then theoretically...
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. I'm going to take the ion system offline. It makes the most sense.
Not a problem. So we've got our ion system has been disabled. So let's mark that with... a radiation symbol. Why not? All right.
And Emma's getting on the comm link to say, "Great shot, kid."
1 in a million.
Don't get cocky.
All right. Who is taking the next action, and what is that action?
Probably Mazota, I think.
Yeah.
Do we have the destination in the hyperdrive already plotted in? We just came out of it. Is there any way of punching that and just hitting hyperspace?
You are going to need to recalculate that hyperdrive jump because your point of origin is different. The destination is the same. But the point of origin is different, even as it is by a couple of 100 meters and growing at the moment. That can have significant impacts. So that will need to be recalculated, but you could most definitely use your actions to do that now.
I'll be definitely wanting to recode to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Do we want to try and get the droid to do another repair job?
Repair job or help with the hyperspace recalc?
Navigation.
It's a good question. I
We're
guess
gonna
if we
have to get
should,
out of here, aren't we?
yeah,
We're one solid hit away from being dead in space, so
yep,
I think we need to get the hell out.
yep. No, that's fair. That's fair.
Astrogation check.
So, Mazzotti, you can use this time to make that astrogation calculation. It's a hard difficulty to do, as we know. I've removed the setback die from the pool based on your talents. Is this a skilled or an unskilled assist?
What's your rank in
Skill.
astrogation?
skilled by the droid, isn't it?
2.
Yeah,
Two.
skilled by the droid.
Yeah.
So it gives him an astrogation of 3.
So, what am I plugging in here? 1 green, 2 yellow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you want to use a destiny on this
and-
one?
Well, what's your intelligence, Mazzotti?
So my intelligence.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, so it's 2 yellow, 1 green. Yeah.
Yep.
Do you wanna-
Excellent.
Do you want to
And
use
I'll get rid
destiny?
of the 2 setbacks as well.
So I've removed those.
Yep.
Oh.
Excellent. All right, you've plotted the course that's taken around. So we've had 3 rounds of combat. We're at round 25. We're moving into round 26. Sorry, we're currently in round 25.
Can you take a strain to take another action or take an action?
Mazzotti can take a strain to take a second maneuver. So his action has been to plot the astrogation, the
Piloting
astrogation course that has been calculated or is currently being calculated. And you have got 1 maneuver to take, Mazzotti, or it could be 2 maneuvers if you take a strain to take that extra maneuver.
Is jumping to hyperspace a maneuver or an action?
He's currently plotting the course. That's going to take a round. You
Oh,
can jump
Yeah.
in the next round. So 25, we're in round 25. You can jump in round 26.
So do I want to?
Evasive maneuver for starters.
Yes, I'll do evasive maneuvers.
Is that a... Now, that doesn't require a piloting check. For some reason, my brain's just gone completely blank.
Oh, I can't bloody find it.
Evasive maneuvers. Here we go. Blah, blah, blah. Nope, it's just a maneuver. It just upgrades the difficulty of the dice pool once for all attacks made against your ship. And if you wanted to, you could use a fly or a punch it to keep moving at the same speed that you're moving at as your other maneuver. But that would cost you a strain to take that.
So the punch, it's going to cost me a strain to keep the current speed. So what if I use full throttle to gain 1 speed above maximum?
Yeah. So punch it means you pushed up to maximum acceleration.
Yep.
And full throttle means how fast you can
takes
go.
it beyond it.
Yeah. So your full throttle lasts your duration in cunning.
Oh, so it was 3 rounds, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So already.
We'll be entering the 3rd round next.
So I'm already maxed out.
You are already burning the engine as hot as it'll go.
I don't think there's anything else I can do, is there?
Let's maintain evasive maneuvers.
Oh, why don't we just lose some strain on the ship?
There's a threat in the pool.
Oh.
The hyperdrive, the astrogation systems have already been strained to maximum. The computers currently are taxed to breaking point. There are sparks flying, steam hissing, lights blinking, sirens sounding. The ship is not in a good way.
I think I've done all I can do. Haven't I?
I can't think of what else you can do.
The only other thing I guess you could do would be to use a maneuver to do a stay on target for the gunners.
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that makes sense.
Stay on target.
We just need to buy enough time to not blow up, basically.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Jala could attempt another coercion or another attempt to deceive the ships if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, I'm all for it. If I had a good thought as to what I'm trying to con them or tell them about. I was thinking we could play dead for a round, like basically say that we surrender and then punch it, but I don't know if that will work because they could just disable us anyway.
Yes, we would.
Stay on target's going to make us an easier target.
Yeah, which is why I was thinking keeping up the evasive maneuvers to reduce their chances of hitting us. Plus, they've lost one ion cannon, which helps. Other than that, repairing the ship.
That's the other thing you need to think about, whether you could do something to do with damage control.
So I've had the R2 droid help me with astrogation.
Yeah. So the B1 droids, are they able to help with repairs at all?
No, they're combat droids, aren't they?
Right.
They shoot things in.
So it's a mechanics, isn't it, to try and fix the ship?
It is a mechanics test, and they could the B1 droids could provide an unskilled assist.
This is where you tell us you've got a secret talent, right?
No, I'm unskilled anyway, so I've got 2 green dice, so that would be
2 greens
3
and
green dice.
No, 2 greens and a blue.
2 greens, and then the unskilled assist would give you a boost die.
All right. Anyone got a better idea?
No.
Now, your system strain is more than half, so it's an average check to do a damage control.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Do I just roll mechanics then?
Yeah.
We haven't blown up.
No, I accidentally put 2 dice in the pool that weren't removed
Go back.
for the previous check. Can you roll that again for me, please?
Yeah.
Hey!
Even better. Excellent. You managed to improve the ship's strain by 2. And that's your action. Is there anything you wanted to do as a maneuver?
No, just rock backwards and forwards and hope.
Excellent. All right. The one dastard with a ship capable of firing upon you is on the approach. Now, their difficulty, as I understand, is upgraded by 1.
Yes.
I shall upgrade their skill check also.
Should we do a light side point in return?
You could definitely do that.
The wind.
Sorry?
Yeah, I think we have to fight fire with fire.
Yeah. The sun near the asteroid is getting in their eyes. So
You spiteful things. All right, I've upgraded their difficulty check for that, so that's upgraded twice. I'm rolling.
oh no!
Wow.
Oh god!
Dear God.
All right. Okay. That's going to be
I think we're cactus
5
boys.
system strain minus your armor.
No, we're still fine.
Uh,
Does our rear deflector shields not help?
Yeah, we needed 2 blue dice in there as well.
2 blacks.
2
2
blacks.
black,
Yeah, hang
sorry,
on.
2 black dice.
Hey,
Oh,
So it's a miss.
that is a miss.
put that strain back on, buddy.
What? They still.
Jala from the 3-point line. After the buzzer.
Oh, all right. So they miss. They're going to cause 1 system strain using the advantage that they got. So they failed, but they're going to cause the system strain. Your computers, the ship's computers are overloaded. You are evasive maneuvering out the wazoo. The ship is really struggling to handle all of the input that's going on at the moment. So you're going to lose a system strain as a result of that. In addition, I'm going to use that triumph. Oh, now, all right. As I said before, the ship is absolutely at breaking point. You know, there are systems blinking, there are things exploding, steam hissing, sparks flying in the cockpit, all manner of things going on at the moment as you are, pushing the ship to absolutely its limits. The R2 unit currently plugged in, R2B7 currently plugged in to the ship, is doing its darndest to assist you pre-program the astrogation check. And as the ship hits that point, Mazota, you're sitting in the seat. R2's plugged into the ship's computers. There's a series of pops and sparks in the cockpit, and R2 flies back from the console and ends up in the back of the cockpit. Obviously, some of that overload has hit his systems. That's what I'm going to use a Triumph for, and has overloaded or done something with R2B7. He's flown backwards. He seems like he's offline just at a glance. There's certainly a dance of electrical energy over the exterior of his body as he's flying backwards and hits the back of the cockpit. And you can see him overloading as he does that.
It's our turn again.
Right now, it is your turn again. Who's going to take that first initiative slot?
Hopefully Mazzotta, or are we all going to shoot before
I
we
want
leave?
I want a shot on this bastard beforehand.
Okay.
Excellent.
How many blue dice do you get for, or what bonuses do you get for that stay on target maneuver?
He can't do that.
I thought he already did it last turn.
No, I didn't
No.
do it.
Oh,
Otherwise, we'd go an easier target to hit.
got it.
So you're at 2 at the moment. Shields have been added as setback. So it's an average check with a setback for the shields, and there's no blue dice in there. But if you've got any other talents or things that you can use to provide advantage, then feel free to do so.
So I'm going to use my true aim again, and because this is 2 consecutive maneuvers, I get 2 blue dice for each rank. So that's 4 blue dice.
So you're taking a strain to do it.
Is that a strain?
Yeah, you need to take a strain to do it.
I'm trusting you implicitly here, and I've put 4 boost die into the pool.
You're trying to finish that guy off, are you?
Sorry, what do I take a strain? I don't understand.
If you want to take 2 actions to aim.
No.
Okay.
Spend 2 consecutive maneuvers aiming. I thought that was a maneuver last round and a maneuver this round.
No, because you fired on it, that you have to reset it.
Oh, is that? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll do that.
So you can take a strain, maneuver twice, and then action to shoot.
And okay, so I'll take the strain.
Bent on destroying it.
Just a warning shot above the knees.
Is this ship here?
No, against this one.
Oh, yep, the undamaged one.
The one that's still opening fire on us. You ready?
Yep. You've got 2 a difficulty, an average difficulty set with a setback die. You've got 4 boost die in the pool. Now, you didn't gain the advantage, did you?
No. Not that I'm aware of. No.
No. So I'm upgrading the difficulty by 1 because they are undertaking evasive maneuvers.
Okay.
Light side point.
Is it worth it?
Probably not.
No, it's our last one. We've got bigger fish to fry with that, I'm sure. We're going to jump out of the system this turn anyway, so. Yeah!
Cop that. So that's critical.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a critical, all right.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 plus a critical.
You take the critical because you get that from the
triumph.
Triumph.
Yep.
And you can add plus 10 with a 3 more advantage because you're not going to take him out either way. So you can add 30 to your roll now.
Yeah.
To your critical roll.
All right. Is that 30 including my plus 20?
Yeah, that's total.
Yep. So 97.
Oh,
I think I might have just stopped doing his tracks.
Well, I think all your desperation to punch in these codes. All right, engine damage. The ship or vehicle's maximum speed is reduced by 1 point to a minimum of 1 until the critical hit is repaired.
button down.
Well, compared to the choice we had last time, that seems a bit of a letdown. But
yeah, it was a similar choice, wasn't it? The difference is that last one was easy to repair, whereas this one would be hard to repair.
Yeah, gotcha.
So I really mess the engines up. So 6, 7, 8, 9 damage to him as well.
9 damage also.
How many of those advantages did that boost to the critical require?
3.
3. So
I think it did 3, yeah.
Yeah, so I've got an extra advantage, so we'll call that 10 damage.
Excellent. All right.
That's me done.
That's not a bad result considering 5 of the dice were blank.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the overall result. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I like it. Heathen, are you going to take the next action?
Oh, I might as well take a shot at him.
Yep. You're going to take a maneuver to aim?
Yeah, might as well. I think I get 1 blue dice for that.
You do. Again, average difficulty, a setback for shields, an upgrade for evasive maneuvers, and the dice pool is ready to roll.
All damage, please.
Is that
Now that-
9 altogether?
10.
What are the damage of the weapons? Is it 6, is it?
6, yeah.
6.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm getting wrong.
boys, we could stay.
Not necessarily.
You've got, if one good hit.
We're out of here.
Yeah. No, it'd be stupid to stay. But
Funny, yes.
God, I want to.
All right,
We
we're
get the hell
around
out of here.
26. Either Jala or Mazota. It is your action.
I'm about ready to hit the jump to hyperspace. This jar was going to do something.
No, just check on R2.
Yep. So a maneuver to get up to the cockpit. Actually, I think you probably already were there,
I'm already in the cockpit, yeah.
given what you've been doing in previous turns.
Yeah.
You pull R2 off the wall. There's still a little bit of static electricity dancing around the droid, and you can see that the droid has shut down. In essence, you're not sure. You don't think it sustained a lot of damage. Certainly not physically, but it does look like it's had its system overloaded in some way. You could take a computers check potentially to run a diagnostic, or depends what you would like to do.
Do we need R2 for the jump?
Calculations have already been made. It's just a matter of pulling the trigger, so to speak.
Well, I'm going to be worse at fixing R2, so I'm going to leave that for later and someone more skilled than me. I'm going to, just over the comms, before we jump, I'm going to leave a parting shot saying Bandon Dobar will seek retribution.
Nice. Did you want to? That seems to me to be a coercive sort of thing.
There's certainly an implication of a threat in there, definitely.
Yeah, you're trying to get inside their heads a little bit with that. I'm going to make that an average check, considering how events have unfolded in the last 4 rounds. Reality versus expectation and all of that. So average check down from what would normally be hard, and you can feel free to make a coercion roll if you would like to.
I would do, but all my skills seem to have disappeared.
Oh no.
I think. Where's my thing on? My coercion is just 2 green dice.
2 green dice?
Yeah.
All right, that's in the pool, and you can just roll the GM dice pool if you'd like to.
Where do I roll the GM dice pool?
There's a dice in the middle of the dice pool of the character sheet.
Hey.
Nice. Your you criticize, obviously, Captain Gestero for his choice to maintain his engagement after your previous warning, or chastise, I should say, Captain Gestero for maintaining his attack after your previous warning, and let this be a taste. You said before that you mentioned Bandon Dobar, that he would seek vengeance. You hear Gestero's voice begin a retort and then falter as your words hit home, and he is left with nothing to say, and you feel like your words have hit their mark.
Great. hopefully he won't sleep well tonight. Any chance we can hit the go away button?
As soon as I hear Jala finish that sentence, I hit the
Just leave buttons.
hyperdrive lever.
Excellent. The YT rotates slightly in space, and then the space lines, the stars suddenly blur into those familiar lines of hyperspace as the ship jumps into hyperspace. And again, you drop shortly out, or after a short distance, you drop out of hyperspace in orbit again around Formos. In orbit around Formos, you are due, according to your log, to meet up with the Horizon Legacy, a yacht in orbit around Formos, and transfer over your passenger, Verd Ramos.
Well, I forgot we had him on board. That would have been an exciting adventure for him.
How's it right?
He is shaken and stirred.
All right, I'll try and rendezvous with that ship.
Excellent. You make contact with the ship. We're currently in round 28, and you make contact with the Legacy Horizon. The Horizon directs your ship to dock, as you've had with your previous encounters, and you dock with this yacht, the Legacy Horizon. Again, a pleasure ship, a yacht in orbit around Formos. As the doors hiss open, you can see Gustip standing on the other side. He makes his way into the ship, again flanked by his Trandoshan guards, and you can see him make his way over to the container that you had carried with you since your first drop. He examines the stickers on the outside of the container and nods to himself. He turns to you and says, "Well, I see you've managed to complete the shuffle satisfactorily."
Hardly an issue.
Just a new coat of paint needed.
And the timing, my goodness, I think you might make the leaderboards.
Maybe even with a layover.
You gone?
No, that's all right. I was just going to say our ship's probably still literally smoking. No dramas at all, Your Honour.
I'll say that there is an acrid tang in the air at the very least. He taps.
See the other guys.
He taps the top of the container on that you had in the ship there, and says to you, "The reward that we agreed upon, you'll find in here." Now I'll take my guest, Ramos. Well met. And Verd Ramos makes his way over. They shake hands and then embrace. He indicates the dock to the Legacy Horizon. Verd Ramos, you can see, is still a little bit unnerved by his experiences, turns to you and says, "Thank you. Thank you. Oh, well, I think I'm in need of a stiff drink. Gustip, if you might see your waiter fixing me one." Gustip follows Ramos and chuckles and says, "It's always a stiff drink, isn't it, Ramos?" and the two of them exit the ship.
Suppose we better dock back down on Formos and enact some repairs and check that the crate actually has what he promised us in it.
Yeah, we might do it before we leave.
You open the crate, and inside you find the 4,000 credits agreed upon. And alongside that, you can see there is a comlink, an encrypted comlink, and a short message which says, if you're ever looking for work in Formos again, don't hesitate to get in touch.
Sweet.
It's a good business
Excellent.
contact to have.
Seemed like a nice chap.
Like a
Yep.
perfectly legitimate businessman. Correct.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Excellent. All right. Is there anything else you would like to do before we end today's session?
I've
Repair the
got
ship.
nothing
Yeah.
specific that I needed to do.
No. Rest and fix the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ship is one good shot away from not looking so good.
One shot away from being air conditioned.
The
All
ship is
under
actually just suffering a bunch of strain, right? It's not.
It's not beat up. It just needs
control.
a
The
rest.
systems are
Yeah.
a bit fried.
Yeah, it wouldn't have gone well, even if the those pirates had boarded you at the end there and you had defeated them. You would have been not in a good way, because you got all the life support systems and things on board the ship which are currently dysfunctional.
Brecco, where was Brecco?
He's doing a bit of shopping.
Shopping.
He's just having a nap in the bunks. It is worth pointing out that Gustin agreed to covering our docking fees, so he didn't necessarily specify how long we could dock for.
He did not, no.
No.
So ideally, we can maintain our spot in his docks for a little bit longer to get the repairs sorted.
Mm-hmm.
If you make inquiries, as you might do back at the spaceport, you find that the Ebon Avenger, tagged as it is under your ownership, has a universal pass. That docking fees and refueling fees are to be waived and charged to an account. Which account? Doesn't say, but an account.
Does
And
it?
it's not your account.
Is it a permanent fixture, or is it just this one time?
It appears to be.
Free docking at
Nice.
Formos.
I'm assuming that's going to be limited to just Formos.
Certainly, it's at this particular spaceport.
Yeah.
I think everyone's overlooked the most important question. Where are we on the leaderboard?
Well, we're on it, which is more than we could say about 20 minutes ago when we were hitting an asteroid.
You
Like 20,000
managed to complete the shuffle in 29 rounds. The fastest on the leaderboard is 24. And to make the leaderboard, which is an achievement that smugglers in this area in Formos and the surrounds dream of attaining, right, the top 10 speeds. 29 manages to find your way into 9th place,
Woo!
which
We hadn't
is
have,
a phenomenal effort given the fact that you were also ambushed partway through.
Whew, I want to take another run at it, boys. I reckon we can get number
Let's do a
one.
few tweaks to the ship and
Like stop it from being
Well,
on fire.
the kicker is that and I didn't state this at the beginning, but you don't want to be using your class 2 or your class 1 hyperdrive for the micro jumps. It's those are you're bringing a muscle car to a tractor pull. You don't need that level of sophistication. You want to use your slower hyperdrive. It's better and more stable in managing those smaller jumps.
Well, next time we do that shuffle, I reckon we can get number one.
24 rounds.
24 rounds. Well, we lost about 4 rounds to the ambush, and there was a bit of shenanigans in a couple of our jumps. I reckon we could do it. All right, we got to call it there.
All right. I will put the experience in the Discord channel. And if there is, in the meantime, anything anybody wanted to be doing or questions asked or whatever else, then pop them there and I shall do my best to address them.